Hello there, everyone. Welcome back to some more Let's Play The Consuming Shadow. Yeah! It's been a while, almost a year in fact. Today is August 13th, 2018 when I'm recording this part. But the fall is fast approaching. About another, what, 2.5 weeks? 3 weeks till technically it'll be September? And by now you guys know on my channels, I enjoy playing scary and creepy games around those months because Halloween. And we will pick up with some more Consuming Shadow. First thing I need to do is lower the game volume just a tad, and everything else I think is ready to go. It's been a while, everyone, since I played the game, so you're gonna have to bear with me. I'm just... it's gonna be pretty terrible to start, I'm pretty sure, just as a heads up. Okay, so, right, if you don't remember what the Consuming Shadow is, this is a survival horror. It really is. We have to manage some resources. We've got to keep our sanity intact for as long as possible and survive. And we're going around trying to stop an ancient one from forcing its way into our world through the actions of various cultists, with the only thing that can stop it being our knowledge of the banishment spell to get rid of it. But we have to find the pieces required to do that, which is another big thing. Or, depending upon the character we use, we might start with the spell, but then we still have to figure out who on earth to banish, which in itself would take some time. It's a very fun game. It's a side-scroller as well. Combat's a little tricky, and I'm not going to be good at it any longer because, again, it's been a year. But I'm really looking forward to this. It's a great game. Finally, before we get started, you should remember that I like reading everything. I still have not read all the journal entries. Actually, I think I did read all the journal entries. So we can talk about that during the downtime in the game. But without further ado, I'm going to quickly check to see how my voice is coming out. I am playing this on the new computer. And assuming everything is good, we'll be right back to hit new game. Alright, everyone. Sounds like my voice is coming out okay. I actually upped the volume a tad, since it sounds perfectly fine to me. So let's go ahead and start a new game. Oh, it's been a while. Right, so in my account, I've unlocked the Warrior and the Ministry Man. The Warrior can't use a gun, and I rather like being able to use a weapon. And the Ministry Man, we've only got 1 day, I think, to complete our quest. I'll probably end up playing both of them at least once during this playthrough, which is to say that during the fall months that I'm playing this game for. But most of my time will be spent playing the Scholar. I get the impression there's another character that we have yet to unlock in the game, but generally to unlock a character requires you doing a very particular thing and or providing someone with some particular items. It's similar to Faster Than Light trying to get one of the ships to unlock. So we might not get whoever this is, but maybe we will. Anyway, we're going to start with the Scholar, the default character. We get a gun, a car, and 60 hours to save the world. A shadow is trying to enter our world. One of the ancients. The runes confirm it. I don't know which one. All I know is that they arrive at Stonehenge in 3 days from now. I have the ability to incant runes in the ancient tongue, but I do not know what incantation sequence will banish the evil, nor do I know which evil to banish. What I do know is that I will never determine these things by sitting here, letting the time tick away. I don't think we'll kill ourselves today, at least not right at the beginning. And I will skip the challenge modes, let's just begin our journey. So, we are level 6, and I get 5 birth stars. You only earn stars through experience points, which are earned at the end of the game. You can consider that very similar to the way you earn new characters in Don't Starve, for example. As you can see, they let you do different things. Placing your star in the sky will give you various benefits. The sky is different whenever you play a game. So lockpick chance, that's incredible. I think we'll go with this for our first star. There we go. So we're getting a little bit of lockpick chance, random spell chance of 1%, and some extra sanity. Oh my god, look at this. That's a ton of passives. We'll grab another random spell chance plus 1%, random equip chance 1%, and plus 10 health and sanity. Not a lot in this sky. Research is used to unlock lore, from what I can tell. It might provide a passive bonus when you unlock everything. We're going to go ahead and grab some extra research for us, I think. Let's see, where is the best spot? Probably there. Oh, a little higher. I can't quite get 3%. Looks like 9.7 is going to be the highest. We have 2 stars left. Doesn't look like we'll be able to get any extra ammo this time around. We could just grab additional health and sanity. How much more, you know, lockpicking would be nice to have as well. We'll grab some of this, and then finally, random equipment chance. Maybe I do want random spell chance. Would be nice to be able to cast spells. Let's go for this. Oh, actually, no, my health is a little low. Can I get 20? I can. Can I get 20 and 3? I can. I can actually get 22 and 3. Done. Alright, this is our character. You have received a text from the Ministry of Occultism. You can find the information you need in towns tainted by the shadow. Castleworth would probably be your best place to start. Here on the map it shows where we're currently located, and I guess the red means that there is nothing there for us to worry about. This is where we're trying... Oh, no, I'm sorry. This is a place infested by the shadow, so we want to go there immediately. Black locations are places where we have not been, and this is where we're currently pointed. Stonehenge is definitely possessed by the shadow. That is going to take us all day to get down there. Well, we might as well take the Ministry of Occultism up on their offer and head over to Castleworth. It's only 14 miles. That's right down the street. Let's see how long it. Let's see how many. Wow. Let's just go. Sorry, I was gonna say let's see how fast we drive. But I think it's like 40 miles per hour. You have reached your destination. Actually, it looks like it's about... That was 14 miles, and it took us 30 minutes, so yeah, about 30 miles per hour is how fast we're driving. Let's enter the town. The town is suffering under an infestation of small, scuttling creatures. Too large to be rats, not to mention too aggressive and too organized. It is clear that this is only the beginning of something terrible. I feel that it won't be long before these creatures grow larger and bolder, or someone gets some monstrous infection from a scratch. This has to end now, and it is I who must end it. Several witnesses pointed me to a grammar school, which was the first building to be shut down for the infestation. But the place is secure enough that I doubt the creatures could be spawning there unnoticed. However, the school records led me to a teenager who had been working on some kind of science project. He lived with his parents in a nearby suburb, smack in the middle of an evacuated zone. Their house may be worth investigating. Okay, everyone. We swing our weapon, I think, with the left... All right. Left mouse button fires, and right swings. Okay. Up or down makes you interact with things you are near. Mostly garbage, but there's a piece of sturdy wire I could probably twist into a lockpick. This door is locked, and we only have a 31% chance to pick it with a lockpick. Every time we fail, we gain an extra 5% to pick that lock. I've recovered a small handful of 2 standard 9mm rounds. 9mm rounds are just... Oh, hey, this opens! I didn't realize that. They are just normal bullets. They have no bonuses and no weaknesses. Whenever a creature shows up on screen, We want to fight it. I found a set of keys. These should make exploration easier. If we don't kill a creature when we notice it, we'll lose sanity upon fleeing the room. Don't be afraid of the dark, little one. Speak aloud these words, and the shadows will be lifted from your eyes. We know a spell. EU Shem. There's probably nothing else of interest in this chamber. I won't cast a spell for this place. It's the first location, so it should be one of the easiest to do. The carving dates back at least 6000 BC and depicts Sho defeating and casting out a figure labeled the God of Madness. It appears to have been intended as an insult to a rival faith. Chozo is an enemy to the God of Madness. We will have to put together enough information to know who to get rid of. We also need to know what spell to cast, what runes we will need to use. Oh god, it scared the heck out of me. What is this? Looks like a page torn from a diary. Maybe I'll have time to read it once my mission is over. Information about the story of what happened to our hero is told through those diary entries. Oh god, Tim. I have found 3 armor-piercing bullets, perhaps left over from some kind of police operation. Important part of the banishment mantra is to incant the rune of the creature you intend to banish as the last syllable of the mantra. Note, be very certain you have the right rune. There is nothing of importance left to do in this place. The longer I stay, the more time I lose. Try to investigate every single room. The walls of the cave were absolutely covered in the rune commonly pronounced as Ang, each one daubed in a chocolate yellow paint by what I sincerely hope were human fingers. Ever seen something waiting outside for us before. The creatures still infest every crack and shadow of the town, but I have ensured they will no longer breed. A combined effort by the locals will be enough to exterminate the remainder. I can move on now. Okay, I think we can re-enter the town. Oh no, okay. So, I mean, we can re-enter the town, but there's nothing for us to do there. Let's go to 4/4. It's the closest, and we want to begin making our way down to Stonehenge. You have received a text from the Ministry of Occultism. There's fighting on the streets of Oldton. They could use some hands-on assistance. Do it or don't, but if you don't, the town won't be safe for long. Towns which are safe, you can purchase equipment in, buy bullets, and also purchase medkits. You generally will want to find 1 or 2 towns so that you can replenish your supplies at some point, but they can only be done in friendly towns. Hostile towns will have clues for you in order to tell you who you're fighting and what the banishment ritual is. The townspeople here are friendly in the most disquieting way possible. There was a hollowness to their attitude that belies a combination of entrancement and evangelism. When pressed, the apparently unaffected people mutter disquieting stories of friends and loved ones returning from meetings with changed personalities. The smiling ones all wear gloves, and baggy clothing buttoned to the neck, as if their flesh must remain hidden. I'm convinced that a dark power operates beneath the surface, infecting bodies and minds wherever its oily tendrils settle. The common factor between the afflicted ones is membership in a Mason-like secret society dating back centuries. Their meeting place is barely a secret, the private residence of its current Grand Master. The house is in the upmarket district, a grand classical mansion in a state of slight disrepair. The society are meeting tonight, it seems, and the door is wide open. There will not be a better opportunity. Ooh, this is going to be tough. Large creatures are some of the toughest things to kill. Hopefully it won't be too difficult for us at this low level. Why don't we cast our spell? We've lost some sanity, but we can see. I found something. A single diary page has been stuck here. Maybe I'll have time to read it once my mission is over. The carving dates back to 6000 BC and depicts Balahara defeating and casting out a figure labeled the God of Disease. It appears to have been intended as an insult to a rival faith. That might give us enough information to know the two warring gods. The KZ rune has been inscribed on the wall here in yellow, upside down. This means it is intended as a curse to the god that associates with the rune. We have enough information to know that now KZ is a rune. And we know that Ang is the color yellow. Interesting. So that was an insult to whatever god KZ belongs to. Yeah, not enough information. I found 3 armor-piercing bullets, perhaps left over from some kind of police operation. Uh-oh, how do I change my bullets? 1 second, everyone. I apologize for this. Move left, move right, run, fire, melee attack, spell attack, Q or E. The rooms will always have a set of keys somewhere in them. I'd rather hold on to our lockpicks until we desperately need them. Most of the engraving was too weathered to read, but the full banishment mantra, but the second symbol was almost certainly the symbol Ang. Nothing left for me here. I can escape now by the same way I came in. No, there is more things for us here. We have 2 rooms we haven't searched. However, it can be very dangerous to stay. Sometimes very hostile creatures will appear. We're gonna stay, though. I really want to explore more of this place. The SHM rune has been inscribed on the wall here in yellow. A generic prayer to a god, not necessarily the god perverting this place. It could be intended for an associated deity. Well, that gives us all the runes. This is what I'm going with at the moment. For some reason, a perfectly functional lockpick has been left here. Perhaps it could be covered later. The Ang rune has been inscribed here on the wall in yellow. A generic prayer to a god. Not necessarily the god perverting this place, it could be intended for an associated deity. Looks like there is in fact no key here. I'm not going to use lockpicks to get through that door. With their leader dead, only its minions throughout the town remain. Fortunately, the remaining townsfolk seem to have the matter in hand. I can leave them to rebuilding their lives. Let's take some time and heal ourselves up. We've been taking quite a bit of damage. We know this is... Oh! This is not the invader. It can't be. The Ang rune associated with the god color in yellow. We also know that our spell... The god's rune is the... Oh, well, it could be. Ang could be used twice in the spell. So I don't want to make that assumption at the moment. The spell consists of you casting 4 runes. And we could cast the same rune twice, I think. Oh, we should head to Oldton. We might be able to get to Bilsing, Waterboro, and then Oldton. I don't know if we'll have the time. Let's head to Finsbury first, and then we'll get to Oldton after. From there, we can probably go to Waterboro, Bleasing, Tonesley, Almsgate, and then maybe head south, depending. You can interrupt your drive at any time to change your destination if you like. Not all the texts we get will be helpful or information. Some of them could be hostile. But we will read this one. Serious injuries are not schoolyard bullies. They do not just go away if you ignore them. I need you fighting fit against the shadow. An emergency clinic has been set up in the waiting area of a local hospital to combat the dangers of the shadow. Currently, the beds and supplies are plentiful, but I wonder how long that state of affairs will continue. The doctors here have offered to provide any treatment I required for a donation of £5. I have already healed myself. As I was leaving, I was stopped by a member of staff clutching a plastic cooler box. They explained that an organ badly needs to be transported to a clinic in Sax Hill, and I was the first person with a vehicle to have come by in hours. It could be a monster. It could be someone's head or someone's heart. It could also be an organ that does badly need to be transported. Let's take it. The nurse bowed and scraped with gratitude as I took the box. I would be a hypocrite if I thought I could save the world without being willing to help those in need. Saxborough. Wait. Oh, Sax Hill. Oh, wow, that's... Okay. We're going to Finsbury, Oldton, Salby, Sax Hill. I don't think I've ever got this quest before, so this is awesome. We're finding a bunch of new stuff. You've reached your destination. Let's enter the town. The townspeople here are friendly in the most disquieting way possible. There was a... Oh, we've already read this one, but we'll read it anyway. There was a hollowness to their attitude that belies a combination of entrancement and evangelism. When pressed, the apparently unaffected people muttered disquieting stories of friends and loved ones returning from meetings with changed personalities. The smiling ones all wear gloves and baggy clothing buttoned to the neck, as if their flesh must remain hidden. I am convinced that a dark power operates beneath the surface, infecting bodies and minds wherever its oily tendrils settle. The bewitched residents of the town turned oddly recalcitrant when I actively began to probe for the location of their meeting place. But I have now pieced it together. An extremely modern building in the town's central business district, apparently paid for by some unspecific religious group. I will attempt to maintain the persona of an interested potential recruit, although my instincts tell me that a disguise may become irrelevant once I penetrate the approachable facade. Another one of these. Let's cast our spell again. A cabinet. That sound you hear, that bing bing, that tells you that there is something within your vision which you can search. Please, I don't know what I did. I just tried out the EU and KZ mantra, and now everybody's dead. Somebody help me. Somebody left their keyring here. Hopefully I can open all the doors now. Oh, this thing's tricky. It'll split into several, little versions of it. Interestingly, the name Bararla, as well as associated symbol, is only ever inscribed in white pigment. To do otherwise is considered the ultimate blasphemy. So this is what we know so far. I don't think this is the invading god, though I've been completely wrong before. Help! I've been imprisoned by the cult of Barila. They've locked me in a filthy oubliette. I can hear them cursing some enemy god, chanting Shem. I think they're killing people up there. So this is what I think is going on at the moment. Actually, no, that... Is that right? It could be correct. White, white, all around me. White inside my head and scratching at the walls. I can't face the white anymore. Open up my veins to let the white out. Madness. So we know everything about the god that's not invading. We should still search the rest of this location, though. Ah, I hate you. Thankfully, we weren't wounded. We can suffer various status effects, which would show up down here. Those things can inflict bleeding on us. We're also getting unlucky in that we're not finding any money. There was a dead, dented old cash box here containing around 3 pounds and change. There's a corpse here. Their arms and hands are ruined, fingers either broken or missing, as if they were clawing madly at something. The SHM room has been inscribed on the wall here in white, upside down. The associated god would regard this as a grave insult. I hate this thing. just realized what this is. This is a person who's spewing spiders out. Of an orifice that is really disgusting. Borila is not the god attempting to invade. I know you're reading this, scholar. Your actions will have far further recent consequences than you could possibly imagine. I believe my business in this place is concluded. I should head for the exit. Looks like I should have left before I even fought that thing. But there's no guaranteeing that we would have just gotten... Oh, come on. That we would have... We might have gotten something more useful than knowledge that we had already pieced out. Mostly garbage, but there's a piece of sturdy wire I could probably twist into a lockpick. With their leader dead, only its minions throughout the town remain. Fortunately, the remaining townsfolk seem to have the matter in hand. I can leave them rebuilding their lives. We head to Oldton and do a fight next, I think. First, we need to heal ourselves again. There go the rest. We are out of supplies. We are not at full life. We will need to purchase another medkit the first chance we get. We're likely to take damage from this battle as well, but it will probably end with us getting paid for it. You received a text from an unknown number. We could take this call, and it might be something beneficial, but it could also be something hostile. I think we'll open this one up. I've wired you £7. Don't ask who I am. Just keep doing what you're doing. As soon as I arrive, I see creatures of the shadow infesting the streets, attacking wantonly. The people are making a valiant effort to fight them off, but the struggle could go either way. I prepare to lend my effort to the resistance. We're kind of getting confused and attacking the wrong target. Thankfully, my small contribution has been enough to turn the tide, and I am able to give advice on future defense. The local authorities are grateful, and when I none too discreetly mention the posted reward, seem happy to pay it promptly. I feel quite buoyed by the clean air here, and the people are friendly enough. It can only be a matter of time before they catch the Shadow's attention. I have found a small walk-in clinic for homeless people that will treat me. A proper hospital would be unthinkable. Let's refill our medkit for 15. And I don't think we need the illegal drugs yet. I think we're okay. I have lost another precious hour, but I have finally found a black market dealer willing to take my money. I think we will take the Lucky Charm. I desperately need more loot. And these are too expensive. I can't afford these. Oh wait, no, I'm sorry. I was looking up here at 10 and 7, thinking that was the price. They're actually only 2 and 3, which is not so bad. Let's purchase 3 of these. And 1 more armor piercing, and return to the car. We already have illegal drugs, so we don't need another batch of them. This is a one-time use, which will temporarily increase our sanity. You should always wait to use it until your sanity is almost at nothing. It will extend basically your life until it finally runs out. We'll heal ourselves again. Wow, using 55% of our supplies already. We're going to Sax Hill. We'll stop by Sawby first. We'll probably end up with less than 2 days left by the time we turn this in. An emergency hospital is set up here, and it's in rather desperate condition. Most of the beds are filled with screaming patients who have suffered abominably in the shadow, and blood cakes almost every surface and instrument. A flustered volunteer says they can make room for me if I require it in return for a payment of £5. No, we're good. As I was leaving, I was stopped by a member of staff clutching a plastic cooler box. They explain that the organ badly needs to be transported to a clinic in Almsgate, and I was the first person with a vehicle to have come by in hours. Let's take it. The nurse bowed and scraped with gratitude as I took the box. I would be a hypocrite if I thought I could save the world without being willing to help those in need. Almsgate. That's in the other direction. We're not going to be able to do that. I'm going to ignore this one. I don't have a good feeling about it. You reach your destination, Sawby. The madness that underlies this town appears to be a subtle one, but the facade fades quickly under scrutiny. In response to my questioning, a few residents have seemed ready to give an urgent account, only to think better of it, or be shushed into silence by another. A number of anonymous notes have been passed to me by various means, some demanding I leave, some revealing details that sicken my soul. There is an evil here, I know it. One so loathsome that it will freeze even the busiest tongues. With an assurance of absolute secrecy, I was able to persuade a rather distraught woman to divulge that her child had gone missing. The other townsfolk insist she is mad, but their words are less important than the frequent worried glances they make to an ominous-looking office building that looms above the houses, allegedly one of the town's major employers. My next avenue of investigation seems obvious. Oh, wow. Maybe the child didn't make it. We won't cast our spell this time. We're going to hold on to some of our sanity. This means that we need to play a little more careful. Creatures won't attack you, generally, until you see them. Cultists are the only creature that I will flee from. I don't have a means of actually killing them. Actually, we might with armor-piercing bullets. I should have thought about that. Day 12. The chieftain's son has contracted a hideous disease that coats him in boils. The wise man's remedy is to chant a word that sounds like shozo. Shozo. Apparently the name of a spirit related to illness. The KZ rune has been inscribed on the wall here in white. A generic prayer to a god, not necessarily meant for the god perverting this place. It could also be intended for an ally. The only problem with walking away, with not casting the spell of vision. What's my kill spell? EUAGNKZ. Is that creatures could, yep. A violent wind exploded from me, tearing the lives from everything in the room. Is this the power of the Ancient One intends to unleash upon humanity? But it didn't. Oh wow, our sanity's almost gone entirely, and we didn't even kill the cultist. To be fair, that was the first time I've ever cast that spell. While not their signature color, the god Yushag is also shown to have an affinity for the color yellow, which is associated with an allied deity in the ancient pantheon. Oh, we know what all the gods are. What is this? A single diary page has been stuck here. No time to read it now, but I'll hang on to it. Someone left their keyring here. Hopefully I can open all the doors now. We know all the information about the runes that we need to gather. Just an illusion. a very tricky one. The walls of the cave were absolutely covered in the rune commonly pronounced as Kz, each one daubed on in a chalky white paint by what I can sincerely hope were human fingers. I found 4 armor-piercing bullets, perhaps left over from some kind of police operation. The animosity is rooted in the suffering reportedly endured by a worshipper of Baryla while captured by the cult of Shug. The Shug worshippers seem to tell the story the other way around. Well, I appears to be the enemy of you, Shug. Really? That wasn't the impression I got. So now we're back to possible invaders. There's a dented old cash box here containing around 4 pounds and change. Need to check the entire place. The resort was closed down after complaints from the visitors that the world-famous anti-anxiety treatment, consisting chiefly of the chanting words KZBTI, was causing headaches and strange nightmares. What spell is that? Strange calm. Huh? I'll have to remember that. We could cast it, but my sanity is already so low. I need to use my illegal drugs before I go ahead and try that. The poor soul had already been brainwashed by the time I arrived. Nothing I could do but end their suffering. There's nothing of importance left to do in this place. The longer I stay, the more time I lose. They still appear to be human. Either they are in the earliest stage of changing or the shadow broke their mind in subtler ways. Oh, there's no item either. Oh my goodness, that scared the heck out of me. I have found a discarded wallet containing 5 pounds. The news of the death did not, it seems, come entirely unexpected to the poor soul waiting for my return, but they seemed to appreciate my efforts. As I made my excuses, they pressed a wallet into my hands, explaining that it had been left behind by a previously visiting occult investigator. The syllable BTI had many uses in the language of the ancients, but most notably as the third symbol of a notorious dispel, purported to be powerful enough to banish a god. We'll heal ourselves back up, and we injectable drugs to restore temporary, but only temporarily. Let's set our destination to Sax Hill, and oh, actually, yes. Let's go there, and we will also use our drugs. It is temporarily up to 74, but it will slowly decrease again. You received a text from the Ministry of Occultism. I've got sightings of enemy minions in Garo that need exterminating. If you have the time to sort this out, you won't go unrewarded. We have reached Sax Hill. The address that was given doesn't look like a hospital to me, and the character who took the cooler from me doesn't look like much of a medical professional. I'm thinking back to the journey, remembering times when I thought the cooler had made a thumping noise, but had dismissed it. After the cloaked figure had retreated from my car with the cooler, I prepared to follow them. This does not feel right at all. Let's cast our dark vision. There is some kind of survivalist cache here containing 4 hollow point bullets. Creepy. Looks like a sewer system. I've recovered a small handful of 4 standard 9mm rounds. Thank goodness for that lockpick. That's right, that lucky charm. Mostly garbage, but there's a piece of sturdy wire here I could probably twist into a lockpick. I don't like the gas coming out of that creature. I don't think I've seen one that does that before. I wonder if this game got an update at some point. There is some kind of survivalist cache here containing 4 hollow point bullets. That was terrible. To my horror, after the priest in the center of the circle incanted the phrase Ankus, every unfortunate prisoner he had gathered around him mysteriously died in violent, explosive manners that haunt my nightmares to this day. Nothing left for me here. I can escape now by the same way I came in. Dark vision, circle of death, strange calm, mass death. Mostly garbage, but there's a piece of sturdy wire I could probably twist into a lockpick. We gotta fight it. If we run, we'll lose sanity. I want to see what's behind this. I have found an ancient 9mm pistol with 3 usable bullets in the clip. I've recovered a small handful of 4 standard 9mm rounds. Alright, so just bullets in this location. I emerged to find the town still slumbering peacefully, unaware of how narrowly it escaped subjugation by nightmares. It is small thanks, but for now, I think, sufficient. The atmosphere is tense here as news has spread of the darkness infecting neighboring towns. Besides that, I cannot sense the shadow's influence. For now. I found a small walk-in clinic for homeless people that will treat me. A proper hospital would be unthinkable. Let's refill our med kit. And we only have $8. That's not going to be enough for more illegal drugs. We will not reach Almsgate in 6 hours. That is way too far away. We will head to Kittle. I can't even select it as a location. I think Kittle will be the last one we do for this episode, everyone. I keep looking over to see how much time it has elapsed in real life. In silhouette, a figure by the side of the road seemed to take on several monstrous qualities, until it was illuminated by my headlights and I could see that it was an old man, hunched over and clad in trailing rags, flagging me down. He leans close to the car and I get a complete view of his craggy face, his mad, staring eyes, and the crust gathering at his mouth and nostrils. With a gape-toothed grin and a bony hand, he gestures. He seems to want me to open my window. No, we are leaving. You received a text from a family member. We'll ignore this as well. The town is calm and peaceful, oblivious of the shadow. My heart feels pained and heavy as I am confronted by what we stand to lose if I fail my mission. We cannot possibly reach Almsgate. We'll go to Garo instead. And then we'll end the game there, I think. As soon as I arrive, I see creatures of the shadow infesting the streets, attacking wantonly. The people are making a valiant effort to fight them off, but the struggle could go either way. I prepare to lend my effort to the resistance. 3 9mm rounds recovered. Thankfully, my small contribution has been enough to turn the tide, and I am able to give advice on future defense. The local authorities are grateful, and when I none too discreetly mention the posted reward, seem happy to pay it promptly. The atmosphere is tense as news has spread of the darkness infecting neighboring towns. Besides that, I cannot sense the shadow's influence. For now. Let's heal ourselves. 55, my goodness, we are getting badly beat up. Let's look for other supplies while we're here. This will, of course, cause the time to elapse for our donor organ. Hopefully, someone didn't die. I've lost another precious hour, but I finally found a black market dealer willing to take my money. I don't need the shoulder. I don't need that improved. And we have a ton of bullets already, so we don't really need to purchase any. You received a text from the Ministry of Occultism. Almsgate has fallen to the shadow. You wouldn't happen to know anything about that, would you? Oh, it looks like if we didn't deliver the organ, the town gets infected. And it's red. What does that mean? Oh, that just means that there's absolutely 100% shadow there. I have 11 minutes. We can do another one. And we have slightly over 2 days to go. Let's go up to some hope. There goes our temporary sanity, finally beginning to lose it. You've reached your destination. Let's enter the town. The town is calm and peaceful, oblivious of the shadow. My heart feels pained and heavy as I am confronted by what we stand to lose if I fail in my mission. After an hour, I found the following items for sale from individuals content not to ask questions. Let's buy some tranquilizers. Oops, I never know how to do this. And the second slot will be this. And back to town. Visit the hospital. And we'll take the illegal drugs, I think. Let's head to Almsgate and see what happened here. It might be too late for us to do anything to this town. I'm given cause to slow by some kind of fight in the road. It appears to be between a small group of loutish young men and another prone individual whom they are kicking and spitting on. One of the youths instructs me not to interfere, stating that they have caught one of them. I can't get a clear look at the victim through the many attacking legs. Make them stop. I managed to shout loud enough to get the youths to stop, and their attention turns to me. That this, it seems, was the opportunity the creature needed, and it removes the head from one of its attackers. Emboldened with the element of surprise returned, it makes short work of the rest of the group. Goes flying like a red rainstorm. I curse and prepare to defend myself. Bullets. The monsters are dead, and there is nothing more for me here. I returned to the car. I've wasted enough time. We also took more damage. You received a text from the Ministry of Occultism. I've got sightings of enemy minions and some hope that need exterminating. You don't have to help out, but these things escalate quickly. We are already on the way there. We'll get paid, thank goodness, and be able to replenish our medkit. We received a text from a family member. Let's read this one. Here's 3 from our account. I don't want to know what you do with it. Just use it to stay alive. For us. Please. Oh, we're at Almsgate, not Some Hope. Almsgate's the town we just came from. The moment I cross the town's limits, the cooler on my passenger seat begins making the most unnatural noises and moves as if something inside is throwing itself back and forth. Reflexively, I hurl it into the road, and as the lid flies off, a collection of newly gestated creatures bursts out, thrashing absurdly. I must clean up the mess I have made here. Some food that will heal us briefly. I found 3 unfired hollow point bullets that appear to have been hastily concealed here. The monsters are dead, and there is nothing more for me here. I returned to the car. I've wasted enough time. We might as well use the last of our health kit. And enter this town. This town is abandoned, and it's not hard to see why. Some terrible, organized force has torn open a gaping hole in the fabric between worlds, which has replaced all life in this town with a hideous, creeping essence. There are still people on this plane of existence misguided enough to want to summon otherworldly forces. The rift here is nowhere near as big as the one that will bring the Ancient, but it has been enough to all but destroy the town. Sealing the rift will mean getting close to it. Locating it was easy as finding a good vantage point and looking for the spot over which multicolored clouds swirled and fluctuated madly. It was impossible to miss. The tallest building in the skyline, an ultra-modern office block. The symbolism of power made it an obvious focal point. I hope my incantation skills aren't too rusty. We have slightly more than half the time left to banish this god. Things are going to get much tougher, though, now. More new enemies will be showing up. That takes care of the seal. Only thing left to do now is close the rift itself. It's also in red. I found a very old 9mm ammunition box with 3 bullets remaining. The only remedy in the local witch doctor's repertoire was chanting the words BTI Betishim, but the treatment seemed far too effective to entirely dismiss as a placebo effect. Let's try casting that strange calm. What is that? KZBTI? Let's see what this does. The surge of magic left me feeling strangely calm. My anxiety left me as if I were wrapped in a protective cloud and numb to the horrors around me. Okay, so that would remove anxiety if I had it. Unfortunately, all I did was just waste sanity. Someone left their keyring here. Hopefully I can open all the doors now. A body lies at my feet. They appear to have died in absolute terror. The mouth is open so wide that the jaw appears to have dislocated. Help! I've been imprisoned by the cult of Sho. They've locked me in a filthy oubliette. I can hear them cursing some enemy god chanting KZ. I think they're killing people up there. Chozo is an enemy of the god identified by the KZ rune. Yep, we knew that already. I still think this is the... Actually, we now know there were two invaders, so I'm going to go back to Chozo being the invader at the moment. There's a corpse here. The feet are raw with blisters. They must have been fleeing from something with no apparent concern for the pain. So much death in this place. Another victim of the shadow. They appear to have died in absolute terror. That would be EUKZ. If you get close to a portal, it will begin spewing out monsters. Best to take care of it the moment you see it. Sho is not the god attempting to invade. I know you were reading this, scholar. Your actions will have far greater reaching consequences than you could possibly imagine. Looks like I was wrong. Then we have everything we need to banish the Ancient One. There's nothing of importance left to do in this place. The longer I stay, the more time I lose. I don't have the bullets to kill that cultist. The only thing keeping us alive is our temporary hit point, sanity. Do not think thyself invincible with the power to heal all wounds instantly. While the ancients will heal thy physical form, they will forever have a claim upon thy mind. It may not be worth the price. I think he's got a knife. I think he's gonna kill us as well. The creature broke a bone in my leg. I can run if I have to, but the pain will be excruciating. There was a small bottle of medicinal alcohol, which I immediately put to 2 uses. That was not worth it, but that was also the first time I've killed that creature. I normally just run. It's not looking good for us at all. Out of ammunition, badly hurt, going insane. With the rift closed, the endless ringing buzz has been replaced by the deathly quiet of a deserted ghost town. Still, ghosts are preferable to what resided here when I first arrived. I hurry back to the car. We have no healing supplies left and no money. We have a broken leg, and we're going insane. We'll go back to Some Hope, do that battle, try to get healed, and then maybe I think we'll just go to Stonehenge and see if we can end this. Actually, do we know the entire spell? I don't think we do we? I think we need one more rune. As soon as I arrive, I see creatures of the shadow infesting the streets, attacking wantonly. The people are making a valiant effort to fight them off, but the struggle could go either way. I prepare to lend my effort to the resistance. Thankfully, my small contribution has been enough to turn the tide. I am able to give advice on future defense. The local authorities are grateful, and when I none too discreetly mention the posted reward, seem happy to pay it promptly, but only $10. That's not enough for treatment. The atmosphere is tense here as news has spread of the darkness infecting neighboring towns. Besides that, I cannot sense the shadow's influence for now. I found a small walk-in clinic for the homeless people that will treat me. We can treat the broken leg at least for 10. Let's do that. And why not? Let's keep going. We're gonna try to get to Stonehenge. We know... Oh, or can I get to Stonehenge? One second. I'm sorry, we can get to Stonehenge, but do I know the spell? No. I don't know the first rune. We have to keep exploring. Then we will stop now, and we'll pick this up in the next episode. So thank you all for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Take care, everyone.